Hello and a very good evening to you racing fans out there, or sim racing fans I should say, and welcome to this live PSR TV presentation of FormulaSimRacing's World Series Pro for round 13 for the Italian Grand Prix from the magnificent classic circuit of Monza in Italy. My name is Michael Lamb, and joining me once again in the commentary box tonight is Brian Labaday. Brian, first of all, nice to be working with you once again after what has been a patchy season for Reggie's other commitments, but it's definitely nice to be back in the booth once again.
Yes, and nice to be in your presence again, Michael. Lovely to be in your company again, and hopefully we'll have an enthralling race tonight as our three main protagonists, Dimitri De Matos, Lucas Euler and Dave Carsmith, the three guys who have a chance of winning the title. Columbus, Mr. Columbus has an outside chance as well, but he's going to rely on the other three guys. Really, I think the battle is going to be between Dimitri De Matos and Euler. So I'll chat to you a little bit more about the points difference and who I think is going to be doing what in a minute, Michael. But I've been watching the laps at the moment during the Q1, Michael, before you came up, and Euler was the fastest guy. Alan Scott was just about 2/10 behind him, so those two guys are breaking to the 19. The other guys are 20s, like Dave Carsmith, and the rest of them are 21. So it's going to be a humdinger of a battle, I reckon, on this track tonight.
It certainly will be. And obviously, mentioning Dave Carsmith, Brian, obviously I'm sure you've read this week, he hasn't been very well at all, so obviously that would explain his comparative lack of pace for weekend at Monza, but considering the circumstances, it isn't too badly.
Oh, I was totally unaware of that, Michael. As you know, I don't really delve too much into the forums at FSR for a long while now. I'm on iRacing, but sorry to hear about Dave Carsmith. Well, he's right now 5th on the grid with a 1:22.665. Of course, he's got race fuel on board, so he's not doing too badly. Look who pops up into provisional pole with a 21.4 is Euler, and almost a second behind him at the moment is De Matos. But Mike, I don't know if you've got time for me to talk about the gaps in we've got 5 races to go, and the difference in the gaps and things like that. Have you got time for me to just mention that quickly?
No, yeah, go for it, Brian. Obviously, only in qualifying 2 at the moment, and obviously the slightly more dull phase of the race, of the session, I should say. And things don't really start hotting up until towards the race. Okay
then, alright then, that's for the folks watching and listening at the moment. Our current championship leader is DDM, Dimitri De Matos, with 222 points. Closing 23 points behind him is Lucas Euler, who's won 4 races so far this season with 199, 23 behind, and Dave Carsmith, DCS, with 160. I think these 3 guys are the ones really battling it out. Now, according to my calculations, Michael, I don't know if people listening or you got a calculator on you, but I reckon that Dimitri De Matos can come second in every single race towards the end of the last 5 races, and even if Euler wins all the remaining 5 races including today, De Matos will pip him by 2 or 3 points. So really Euler's going to be hoping that De Matos gets slower, like a 3rd or 4th place in at least 1 or 2 of the races, to really have a good chance at taking the title. Carsmith is going to have to also rely heavily on the guys, because he's actually 62 points behind. Still possible, mathematically possible, but DDM can really sit back. But again, as you know, once you start to sit back, mistakes happen. So they've really got to be going really for maximum race lap times, or else once you start relaxing, that's when problems can happen for you. So just to give the folks at home the kind of convoluted or the calculations that could happen with the last remaining 5 races. So it's almost like a shootout, almost like the Braun and Barrichello and Jenson Button race in real life, Michael, with I think someone told Jenson Button that you've got to just treat the next 5 races like each one are like a shootout. You've got 16-point gap on everybody else, and that's how he's mentally starting to come together again. Okay? Any comments on that, Michael, so far?
Well, not at the moment. Obviously, it's going to be very exciting to watch. But as you say, Di Matos has everything to lose, and obviously, I really hope it won't happen in FSR. Obviously, there's always that element for other teams committing foul play and committing rather unsportsmanlike acts to. But I'm sure that won't happen.
Okay. Last year, going back last year on this track, which was 75% race distance, 41 laps only, winner was Mika Pumalainen, who actually won the Pro Championship. Other names in second place was Johanni Alman. Dimitri de Matos, who is championship leader at the moment, came in third place. Mindergas Columbus finished fourth. Other people you might remember is Dave Carl Smith, of course, who finished in seventh place. And the person that's chasing Dimitri de Matos, Euler, actually finished in eighth. So what a difference a year makes, Michael. So, and those are the names that jump out at me straight away from last year.
Indeed, yep. Obviously, the rather short-lived career in FSR, Nicholas Fontana, I believe, he lined up on second grid, but he binned the car on the formation lap and elected to take the start and taking off very slowly, and that caused a massive pile-up, and I think half the field was wiped out by turn one, and I certainly don't want a repeat of that this season. Actually,
Michael, there's some heavy betting going on that this race might be red flagged because of as they're going to the Retofilio, the first chicane there, and these guys coming with cold tires and cold brakes. It's a recipe for disaster. So the betting is going on heavily that we're going to have a red flag. I hope it doesn't happen and everybody behaves themselves, but let's wait and see, eh?
Well, anything can happen in FSR, and it usually does. So there we go. We shall find out in a short while. Just everything is running on time. Just under 12 minutes to go before the start of the race. And obviously some notable mentions. Robert Fakes and the FormulaSimRacing organisation car back today after about 2 race absence, I believe, and also sporting new equipment as well. He's recently bought himself a G25, so I'm expecting improvement from him today, as obviously got to give him a bit of leeway for the getting used to the G25, as it's very much a completely different beast of a steering wheel compared to cheaper Logitech in the family, such as the Logitech Formula Force FX and the Driving Force Pro, all good wheels and on their own accord, but obviously plastic against real steel and leather. It's certainly quite a difference, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just wondering, does he know that the G27 is about to be released quite soon? I don't know if he's aware of that, but it's got some extra buttons. They tell me. Do you know if he was aware of that, Michael?
Yeah, well, I think most of us were, but obviously they're selling the G25 cheap on a very popular website with 4 letters, and they're going for just a shave under £100, £99 and 95 pence to be precise, and they sold out quite quickly. Misco were selling them as well on the bank holiday weekend, and I even grabbed one myself actually, so I'm quite happy with my purchase. £105 in total it cost me from Misco, as they ran out on the other particular website. I have to say, it's a marvellous piece of kit, this, and compared to the resale price of £330 for the G27, I think I'll stick with the G25 for now. Thank you very much, Brian. What do you think?
Oh, I couldn't argue with that at all. 99 quid, that's a real bargain, and it's good quality wheel and everything. Like you said, definitely a bargain there. Okay, just want to run down through the grid formation that we just had qualifying to just finish. Euler on pole position for this race. Dimitri de Matos, how funny that is. Also reverse the 2 protagonists, the rail guys fighting this for the title tooth and nail. Cyril Wemmuller in 3rd place. Mika Tomala in 4th place. Vendugas Columbus in 5th place. Alafort, now that's well, not a surprise to me, but I thought was actually second quickest behind Lucas Euler in Q1 earlier on, so he must be carrying a heavier fuel load. Jack Keithley is in 7th place. DCS, Dave Carsmith, the other person who can actually try and go for a World Championship winning pro here, is 8th place. Emil Uslar in 9th place, and 10th place it was Ben Phillips. Okay, Michael. So 53 laps on this track. I've seen guys doing 220, you believe it, mph down the start-finish straight. It is insane speeds these guys are carrying into turn 1. What do you reckon, mate?
Well, I was gonna hope for the best. They're going to all pile into turn 1, but no, there should be, I'm sure it'll be a spectacle to watch. The race last year was excellent to watch, and so it was for the other World Series as well, when Ace was 100% race distance as well, and the race for that was very entertaining to watch, and I'm expecting it to be the same for World Series Pro as well, Jay.
Okay, cool. And just to let the folks know, the team championship at the moment, Ash Racing has got 329 points. Torah Motorsports IPG Ford is 275. Third place is... Oh, sorry. And that's Torah Motorsports RedShiftersNews.com 166, and Ash Race is 129. So I really think it's going to be the top 3 there again, Michael, who will be battling it out.
Certainly will be indeed. And who would you want to place your money on today, Brian, if you are a betting man, for today's race winner?
Good one. Euler seems to be really red hot at the moment, Michael. So I'm going to say definitely Euler, unless he makes a serious terrible mistake. He's got the pace, he's got pole position. We know he's blisteringly fast in the race pace. De Matos, I can see coming second. Hopefully he doesn't have an engine blower like he had a few races ago. Another thing that just reminded me, Michael, is I don't know if you're aware of this, but they've actually changed the mod slightly, and they've actually increased the brake disc pad to 3.2. I don't know, because of people, I don't know if they were complaining or, but because they had quite a few retirements recently, especially in Valencia, they've actually increased it. What are your thoughts on that? I'm not too, I have my thoughts on it anyway. What do you think, Michael, about them changing the mod slightly because people heavy braking and they've actually made it better, so we'll have less brake failures in the race? What do you think about that, Mike?
Well, some would say it's quite late in the day to make changes to the mod, obviously with 5 races to go, but obviously Valencia is one of those tracks where they tax the brakes quite a lot, and a lot of teams felt Monza wouldn't be too bad, but obviously they felt there was an agreement, they felt the need to change it. I guess here's the result. Well, obviously I don't want to see anybody have brake failures, but obviously at the end of the day it's taken an element of challenge away to create a stable setup, or a setup that you know for sure that will finish the race, whereas now you can just sort of say, they put it on 3.2 and near enough 100% brake pressure, and you're almost guaranteed to finish. But I'm sure I'm going to get tons and tons of people emailing me now and complaining that I am talking a load of old rubbish because I'm a commentator, I don't know anything about car setup.
Well, dude, they can't take away our opinions, and I have to agree with you. This is my opinion, folks, so you can put as many emails or posts there. This is my own opinion. To me, it takes away, like you said, the extra challenge, Mike. I remember Canada was a real brake killer for a lot of people, and you had to just, you know, be good or brake earlier and gentler. It's a challenge. To me, it's taking away that extra edge now. Like you said, people can put it at 3.2. I'm not sure if you can brake at 100% brake pressure, but you know, the other guys won't be too concerned now, and it would have favoured the guys who are better on their brakes, gentler on their brakes, and to me that's part of motor racing, really. I don't know if they do it in real life as well, because everybody's now having brake failures. We're going to increase it. I don't know. So some technical guys out there might disagree. Talking about technical guys, there we've actually got Dennis Herlin with us, who actually races in WC Championship. So I know, Dennis, if you're there, do you want to throw your 2 cents worth in on this increase of the brake pads? I don't know if you're still there, Dennis.
Yeah, hi Brian and hi Michael. Hello to all the viewers. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, we are short before the race, and well, as you said, Brian, the brakes shouldn't be an issue this time around. It was an issue 2 weeks ago on Valencia, but this time the brake discs size on the cars has been increased by FSR, so every driver should be pretty much safe now. However, in the AMA race, which we've seen this afternoon, there has been one brake failure, maybe two, if I'm not mistaken, but that is down to the driver being a bit too optimistic on his cooling settings, so every driver should make it full distance now pretty safely, as long as he plays it safe with the cooling settings.
Okay, thank you very much, Dennis. Dennis, like Euler, Lucas Euler has been putting 19s and 20s. What do you think is a realistic lap time for these guys, maybe on a two-stop? I suppose there's going to be one stop in here, that's like in real life. What do you think will be the fastest way around here, Dennis?
Yeah, difficult to say. The pit lane is pretty long. It's going to be between 2 and stops here. It's 100% race distance, the pro category as always. So yeah, 2 or 3 stops. Lucas Euler was by 1 second quicker than anybody else in the Q2 session, doing a 21.4. So possibly he's on a bit lighter. He's a fast guy, but possibly he's on a bit lighter fuel load than the other drivers. So he might go for a 3-stopper maybe, and the majority maybe for a 2-stopper, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, thank you very much, Dennis. And every now and then, folks, we'll bring Dennis in with a technical question so he can shed some light on his vast knowledge and understanding of car setups. Come from the Twister Racing team, and he's quite very knowledgeable. He's actually been a world champion here at FSR in 2005, so he knows what he's talking about, folks. Okay, Michael, I think we're almost about ready now to do this, so I'm going to hand over to you and give us any last minute thoughts. Who do you think's going to win? What's your podium, Michael?
Well, obviously with Dave Carlsworth being loaded up on medicine tonight, I don't think he'll make the podium, but I'm sure he'll prove me wrong. No, obviously, I hope Dave's alright, and does take some guts to race tonight if he's not feeling 100% well. And I'll come back to that in a second, Brian. I've got some live timing up as well. If you'd like to visit www.fsrlivetiming.net.tc, we've got live timing up on that, so you can follow that along with the commentary.
Non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
And on the broadcast. And yeah, barring any mechanical failures, I'm expecting Euler, De Matos, and it's hard to say whether Columbus or Woodman is going to get the final podium, as both of those guys are very fast. And looking down the field, I don't really see anybody else who would seriously threat for the podium. Jack Keithley is always quite quick, but time will tell. But definitely 1 and 2 is going to be a toss-up between De Matos and Euler, I think. And the cars are on the formation app now, Brian. We've got a small turnout tonight, comparatively anyway. Only 19 cars on the grid.
Yeah, I think, yeah, no idea, maybe people are already giving up because the season's about to go over. But I thought, Michael, I think you have to watch out for him. He was quite quick in the last race, and also he was only 2/10 slower than Lucas Euler in raw pace in Q1. I was watching earlier on. Michael, could you give that link again for the people to go and watch the live timings? I just tried it and I can't find it at all. FSR live timing.tc. I can't find it at the moment, Michael. Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, it's www.fsrlivetiming.net.tc. So I hope you can visit that. So I'll give a very quick rundown on the grid. So Euler is on pole, Di Matos is second, Wernmuller is third, Columbus fourth, Ala Fort is fifth, Mikhail Tamala sixth, Jack Keithley seventh, eighth place is Dave Carr-Smith, ninth is Ben Phillips, rounding up the top 10 is Clayton Nelms, Danny Roberts and Sammy Zakowski 11 and 12, 13 and 14 is Mark Johnston, and Robert Fakes, Mark Johnston, driving for the DHR team. 15th is the newcomer Jan Larsen, it's a DHR again. 16th is Kostas Cantazores for Delatraz Grand Prix. 17th is Danny Lubbers, 18th is Emir Usau, and rounding out the back is Damien Dane Humane.
Michael, the ambient temperature is 26.7 degrees, track temperature 27.4. So I think we're going to be humdinger. So Michael, as always, I'll give it over to you to take us through the first lap, mate. Over to you, Mike.
Thank you, Brian. So as you can see, we're just looking from the onboard camera of Mikhail Tamala lining up his car. It seems to be having some trouble in the Redshift News car. Now back on board of our pole sitter, Lucas Euler, just checking his steering wheel is working. Here we go. So here are the lights. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. When they're off, we'll be go in Monza. And Di Matos had a good start. Euler's had a bit of a mediocre one. Look at Wernmuller. I bet he's light on fuel, I suspect. And he's going up the inside into turn 1. Ain't gonna work. And oh, look at that. Columbus has gone straight off. But we got a car off.
What?
Yeah, it's a Rothman's car. A DHR car is off the track on the chicane.
Michael,
So
I think
looking at
people
the
took
matches.
escape route. I think some cars went straight and took the escape route.
They did, right, they did. And look at Euler. Euler's contacted with Wernmuller. You just saw that at the second chicane. And they're back on track. But Euler's down to 4th. Wernmuller's 3rd. He took that rather unsportsmanlike. But we shall see how that goes on. Columbus leads, but I think he might get a penalty for that, because he did jump the chicane at the start. So far it's Columbus, Di Matos, Wernmuller, Euler. Carr-Smith is up to 5th already as they go into the Irish chicane. You see all the cars streaming through it now.
Yeah, and in 6th place we've got Mika Tamala, 7th is Clayton Nelms, Ala 4th is in 8th place. No, sorry.
Oh! Wernmuller and Euler 3rd and 4th. They really are battling this. They just had some contact into the
Carl-Smith between them.
Parabolica, look at this. Euler and Wernmuller side by side with Carl-Smith. He's trying to get himself down the middle. He's trying to squeeze himself down the gap. It ain't gonna happen. And Di Matos has gone off at the 3rd chicane. Di Matos is off at the 3rd chicane. And he's going down the field. Carl-Smith is nudging Wernmuller. Di Matos down to 6. He's down to 6th place behind Mikhail Tamala. He's behind the TMO train. Carl-Smith really fighting hard with Wernmuller. Into the chicane. And they bang wheels again. But Carl-Smith is through. But for how long? That's the question. Now Wernmuller is going to have Tamala all over him as they go into the second Lesmo. And we've got a car off down the back. It's Sammy Zakowski. He's ran wide. And he's lost about 3 places. He's going through to the
retirement, Michael. Danny Roberts has retired. We saw him going to T1 there and he crashed. But I think the bets are off, Michael. There wasn't a massive pile-up going to turn 1. So I think we're going to have a good race now.
Very nearly did though, but I think we were lucky on this occasion. So Columbus is lead by, he's got the fastest lap, he leads by 2.5 seconds. Although I'm sure the start was a bit suspect. Dimatos in the background, he's fighting with Shimano, and Dimatos is off! And Shimano is off! And they got going again. Dimatos has lost another place to Fort now. So this race is going bad to worse for him, it is. At the moment.
Yeah, similar thing happened to him last race, Michael, but Dimitri Dimatos pulled it all together and still finished in second place, so I wouldn't write him off just yet. He's a real good fighter. Okay, and Euler now closing down his prey, now just 2.0 seconds now, so he's closing in on Columbus as they come out of a scary chicane now, as they blast down now to the Parabolica. 190 miles an hour, 6th gear, 207, 8, 10, climbing, 215 miles an hour. He's really right behind Columbus now, Michael, as he come out of the Parabolica and go over the start-finish straight. And let's see the time.
Columbus!
Oh, Columbus! What's happened?
He must have got a penalty for cutting the chicane. Now, I'm going to assume that. Now, is it a drive-through or a stop-go? Let's have a look. Oh, will it be? Get out of the car, Mindegas. You've been a very naughty boy. And it's a stop-go. Stop.
Oh my
Stop.
gosh.
Stop. Waiting. Put the kettle on. Waiting. And away we go. And that's just plummeted Columbus to the rear of the field, faster than dropping an anchor into the ocean.
Goodness gracious me, he's dropped all the way down to 18th place. That is disastrous. So, Michael, oh, I was aware, but chicane, they give you a stop-go penalty. What chicane was that? Was it a chicane number 1? Into the retrophilia?
It was right at the start. Unfortunately, I think we were able to get a replay of that, but he outbraked himself way too late. And he just jumped straight over the first chicane. And I can only assume he got the penalty from that.
I'm sure he's truly gutted for that. Wow, that's going to really knock his confidence there, because now he's got playing catch up. But I'm sure we'll see him coming up again. But regardless of saying that, Michael, Euler was catching him hands over fist anyway.
He was, yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're seeing a replay of Dimatos now. Or we're trying to show you a replay of Dimitri Dimatos. And meanwhile we're looking for a replay and being told that Columbus actually got pushed onto the grass. But obviously without any replays, see, the stewards will decide that. Or in fact the game has already decided Columbus's fate. And there's a replay of Dimitri Dimatos' rather, well, I won't say clumsy, but perhaps a bit half-hearted attempt to overtake the Redshift news car. Yes, Jan Larsen and Sami Sikowski having a bit of a ding-dong battle, and so too is the two DHR cars behind them. In fact, Sikowski has just got it sideways coming out of the second Lesbo. Now he's lost all of his momentum, and you can see the two DHR cars behind him having a serious battle.
There's a battle, Michael, going on.
11th place, Clayton Nelms, 12th place now. 14th now, Clayton Nelms has lost all of his momentum. He lost it coming out of the Ascari chicane, and now he's down in 15th now, actually, behind Mark Johnston.
Alafort into turn 1. Oh, and Tamala shots it down into Alafort's face there. And look, Dimatos nearly collided them, and Jack Keithley as well. Oh wow, that was serious stuff there, Michael. Into T1.
And Johnston
Retrophilia.
Yeah, Mark Johnston is off the track at the chicane, but we're back to Dimatos. All going on. Robert Fakes, Emil Yassel, Robert Fakes, 9th place. 9th place, Emil Yassel has taken Robert Fakes. Unseen by us into the chicane, he's done it though. Robert Fakes now down to 10th place. I'm sure somebody else got off, I'm not sure, but I think Fakes must have made a mistake somewhere. for him to close up, but Emir Sal is on the move. And so too is Alain Force. He's in a Redshift News and Ronaldo sandwich at the moment.
Oh!
And
Jack Keithley taking Dematos! Sorry, Mike.
Jack Keithley and Dematos, 6th place, 7th place. Rolling out down the back straight. Dematos got the inside line for the Parabolica. And Keithley's on the outside. He has to back off, but is he going to get the toe? The better exit coming out of it. He's closing. We're looking back on Dematos' car. He's closing. He's closing. And he does pull out. Now Keithley's got the inside line. Can he break later than Dematos?
Oh,
no, he can't.
Ben Phillips!
They rub wheels. And that's Dematos' teammate behind them as well. Ben Phillips, as you say, Brian. So he's in a Ronaldo sandwich. And that's not a nice place to be in, I bet. Nor is any sandwich, actually. Into the chicane. Whoa, they back wheels again. And Keithley mounts the curb, and they bang side pods and wheels yet again. Into the Lesmo 1. And Keithley's through. Dematos has been pushed off the track. Oh, he's gone off the track.
Oh no!
You can certainly say Dematos' car has been a bit of a lawn and gravel mower today. That's one thing for sure.
Ouch, ouch.
Things seem to be going completely pear-shaped for Dematos at the moment.
He's not going to like this one bit. As he runs wide, he's going to be able to Sky Chicane went right over the curb there, Mike. He's lost more time now. He's now 17 seconds behind Lucas Euler, his main challenger for the title.
And Ben Phillips around the outside of Jack Keithley, around the Parabolica, and he's done it. But Keithley isn't going to give up. Or it's Jack Ketley who's been called in the GRC races. But anyway, I'll call him Jack Keithley. And he's going to try and go around the outside into the first chicane. Can he do it? Last the late breakers. He's got the inside for the second part. Archie Bargy all the way. Guys, this is open wheel racing, not touring cars. So, wow. And now Ben Phillips is fuming. I think he's going to lose a place to Emir Isao into the Royster chicane. He keeps just throwing it and he doesn't lose it. And Dematos doing more gravel mowing yet again. So, well, I think Euler will be loving this. And
Dave Carl Smith.
The race, Carl Smith is third. And
I mean, I said he'll be liking this as well, seeing Dematos, but trust me, dude, Dematos is going to come back at these guys. Watch him, he's pretty quick.
Yep, long way to go yet. And Lucas Euler leads by, just waiting for Cyril Woodward to cross the line, 8.1 seconds. So Euler is on the move. Everything is certainly well oiled up for Euler today then, it seems.
You know, all the time Michael will be racing, that never occurred to me. The word oil, I think oil. That's a terrible pun, mate. You're crazy. Okay, folks, going to give you the rundown now. Lucas Euler, as Michael said, is well oiled today in first place, 8.49, increasing his gap. Cyril Wemmuller in second place. Third place is DCS. In fourth place is Mika Tamala. Fourth place, Alain Forte. Fifth place is Jack Keithley. In seventh place is Ben Phillips, closing on Jack Keithley. In eighth place is Emin Usal. In ninth place is Dimitri Dematos. And in 10th place is Damien Dainhumain. 11th is Michael's racer, Robert Fakes. 12th place is new boy Jan Larson. He met me, new boy Newman. Sammy Sikowski's in 13th. Clayton Nelms in 14th. Now, Clayton had some very good lap times in Q1. I don't know what's happened to him, but he had an appalling Q2 and started in 11th place. Mark Johnson in 15th place. 16th place is Costa Canzoras. In 17th place is our former race leader, Lucas Columbus, who took the penalty in the drive-through. Okay, now P7. I'm hearing that P7 is a battle for P7. Oh yes, and Ursal Phillips and Jack Keithley, and Ben Phillips right behind Jack Keithley now.
Alan Ford is off, and
He's in the wrong way.
He's taking his teammate.
Oh! He's on a crash! Massive crash!
Ouch.
Massive crash, Michael!
Huge accident. He's taken out Sammy Sikowski. My goodness me, that was
And Larson as well.
horrendous.
Jan Larson was collected in that crash as well. And I thought spawned it, missed it. Hope we get a replay. But oh my gosh! And also Emil Usal taken out. We've had 3 people crash due to Alafort spinning and staying on the track. I don't know if the yellow flags came out there, but it was carnage. I hope the drivers are okay there, Michael. So back over to you, Michael, on your thoughts.
I'm sure the drivers will be shocked at what's just happened. They aren't hurt, so to speak. Wow. No, it's... Robert Fakes is 11th place. Where's my screen? There we go. And he's battling with Sammy Sikowski, and I think he's got damage. Robert Fakes got the damage on the instant as well. I think he's minus the front wing, and his car is understeering like it's got 4 pigs attached to the nose cone. And into the pits he comes, just about slowing the car down in time. He's in the pit lane, and I'm going to start the stopwatch as we get a replay of Alain Fort now.
Yeah, Michael, I think he was the first one to collide with Alafort there, and losing his nose cone. I'm sure he sustained some other...
Here we go, here we go. Here we go, we're on board with Alain Fort, and wow, the car just snaps around him. I've never seen that before, to be honest, in an FSR car. And his teammate clips the front wing first. Oh, and then Robert Fakes tries to go on the inside line, but that's when Alain Fort does a half donut turn, and Fakes collects him, and then Jan Larson with nowhere to go, BAM! Straight into the side of him. Here we go, we're looking back from Alain Fort's car. You can feel the punishment it's taking. Bang! And bang again, and wow, that was bizarre, that was.
And Michael, a very unusual place to have a spin in there, coming out of the Roger, coming down to the second chicane there. Very unusual. I don't know what happened to his car. They kind of spun, like you said there. Wow, crazy. I don't know if he had a suspension failure or something before that happened, but I know these curbs are pretty high, aren't they?
They are indeed, and I'm going to have a second look at my replay to see what happened. Well, I honestly don't know what happened. He's in 4th gear. Looking at my replay, the revs go funny, so I'm assuming he might have had a controller glitch, and then the car slams into 1st gear. So I can only assume it's a glitch. So, in fact, I'm being told by Simon Melliwish, he pressed the H shifter, and he must have a G25, which shoves it in neutral, and then he flicks it into 1st, which locks the whole of the rear up. But, easy for us to criticise, and something you shouldn't really be doing, even at World Series Pro, but, we all live and learn, as they say.
Back to for 11th place. Columbus now, our former race leader, coming behind Danny Lubbers, coming into the Parabolica, coming out. I think he's going to have a lot more speed going down the start finish straight. In 5th gear now is Columbus. 6th gear, over 200 miles an hour. 7th gear, 215, 17, 20 miles an hour. It's coming to toll. But Danny Lubbers has some quick speed there, Michael. Oh, look at that! Miss! Wow. By Lubbers, and Columbus takes him as he exits the chicane. Back to you, Michael.
Opportunistic driving from Columbus there. And that's what you get for being opportunistic. He takes the place when Lubbers made the mistake. Obviously, Columbus is out for blood after his unwanted drive through a stop-go penalty at the end of the lap 3. And I'm also being told some of the guys of BMW Team UK is watching as well, the World Touring Car team, which someone works for. They're watching at the moment, I believe. So hello to all you guys out there. Hope your season is going quite well. So Simon Meliwish involved in the team as well, and obviously he's tuning in as of right now.
Yeah, Michael, let's throw a quick question for our sponsors. PSR TV, of course. Natural Track, Natural Points, Track IR, and of course FSR themselves as well. Just to mention our sponsors there. But back to you, Michael, as we continue with this race. And Euler now 12 seconds and pulling away again, Michael, as he comes out of the second Lesmos. And Michael, during the qualifying and practice, I saw quite a few guys, including Dimitri Dematros, spin out coming out of the second Lesmo there and doing a Hamilton, but of course after the first Lesmo, but doing a Hamilton there. So these guys are really skinny, no downforce coming out of that Lesmo, which they're all pulling 3.83 82 Gs there, which is the fastest heaviest downforce they're going through that round there, Michael. But anyway, back over to you.
Yeah, and into the pits comes Lucas Euler. Let's stop the stopwatch. There we go, and he slides into his pit box. And away you go! 8.5 seconds, so a bad stop. And good time to bring in our cameraman slash technical man tonight, Dennis Hull. Obviously the driver for the World Championship team, Twister Racing. First things first, Dennis. No cars in World Series Pro tonight from Twister.
Yeah, unfortunately not. And as we've just seen the pit stop from Lucas Euler on lap 14, that is still between a 2 and a 3 stopper. He was his standing time and his stationary time in the pits was quite long, so he should be pretty heavy now, unless he had to repair some damage. So it could be a 2 stopper for Lucas Euler if he goes like 20 laps now.
Yeah, thanks, Dennis. So time will tell. And
I wonder, Michael.
See.
Sorry, Michael. I wonder if he had some damage, like Dennis mentioned. If he had the presence of mind to switch the damage off, so that doesn't get repaired, because he's blisteringly fast. He doesn't need any more time stopping the. Oh, and Alafort, Michael. Alafort has left the game. Was that disconnection? Oh, sorry. He just, of course, he was the guy that spun. Sorry, he's just actually left the game. He must have been watching the replay. I do beg your pardon, Michael. I'm getting too excited now. Sorry about that.
No problem. And as we're looking at Euler going into the third chicane, now that Jack Keithley, who really is muscling that car over the chicane. Dematros still hanging on in 7th. And Damien Dane Humane is in the pits in 9th place, 11th place now, sorry.
And Robert Fix moves out for Euler as he comes now out of the first Lesmo into the second Lesmo now, and he's got Tomala and Dave Carl Smith, believe it or not, Michael, in front of him. So that's going to hamper his process. So let's watch this, folks. Michael, take it over to you, mate.
Yeah, we're on board with the Ash Racing job against Ascari, the left, the right, and the left again. The 3-car train, and look at the grip Euler has on the fresh tyres, and probably superior car setup as well. And he just bombs past Mikel Tomala as if he was standing still with a dead engine through the Parabolica. On board once again as Dave Carr-Smith is in the pits, so that breaks up the battle.
Tomala as well, Michael.
Yep, so there's DCS. I wonder if one of his drugs is called DCS, but there we go. And we're just waiting. And away he goes. Whoa, Ben Phillips coming in. Whoa! 7 seconds stop for Carr-Smith, so that was shorter. But not much later than Euler.
Wow, Michael, they nearly collected Ben Phillips there. Wow, that was a close one.
It certainly was. So Dennis, you're a 7-second stop for Dave Carr-Swift on lap 16. Do you think that's enough to put him on a 2-stop strategy for this race?
Too early to tell, like I say. We have to wait and how far he goes when he makes the next pit stop. Again, same story, could be 2 or 3 stops still. We have to wait for the next pit stop.
Okay, picking up the race lead, and Sir Remula is coming now, approaching the Parabolica. Will he make a stop on this lap? He comes out, gets his apex on the gas, hard and early. Second gear. Okay, now he's in the pits. Michael.
Yep, so our race leaders in the pits. Danny Lubbers in the pit box there. No sharing pit problems today. So the jacks are up for Weimler. Everything going smoothly. And away he goes. 8 second stop there. Where does that put him?
4th place, Michael. He comes out in 4th place. Just ahead of him is Dimitri de Matos. Of course, he hasn't stopped yet.
No, nor is Jack Keithley. So Lucas Euler now back in the lead. And, wow.
Oh, look at this, Michael. Back to 6th place. Tamara just overtook Clayton Nems coming out of the chicane there. Nems fighting back as he comes into 2nd chicane. Oh, Dyson inside, outside. Oh, and Tamala takes the corner. Oh, Clayton Nems still fighting. Oh, and Tamala pulls away from him.
Yep, how long, that's the question. Probably one of the few closer battles going on around the track at the moment. As Alain Fort did spread the field out slightly with his incident. And we've lost Danny Lubbers as well, it seems.
Brakes, Michael! Brakes! No, that is crazy. After 18 laps? Hello? He must have forgotten, Michael, to increase it to 3.2, I presume. He must have been going with a very skinny brake disc.
Or he just loaded up his qualifying setup. Who knows? I don't know. And, well, I'm sure we'll find out. And Jack Keithley in the pits. Out of the pits now. He's rejoining out in 7th place. It's going to be, I think. Comparatively clear road ahead of him, and Ben Phillips about 3 seconds behind him. Columbus in the pits again, 11th place. And a long stop, 11.5 seconds.
Has he got? Has he changed your one to fill to the end of the race now, Michael? Do you think he might have decided that because of his stop and go earlier on? And now he's made his actual pit stop. Maybe he's changed his strategy now to just stopping once for fuel.
It's possible, unless he's had damage. Let's ask the thoughts of Dennis Hull.
Well, I was just looking at the lap times of the people. Dave Carr-Smith at 23.8 last time round. His best is 23.0. He should be on a 2-stopper. Lucas Euler, I'm not quite sure. He just set the new fastest time, 21.9. He could still well be on a 3-stopper, but everybody else should be on a 2-stopper.
Okay, Michael, I'm keeping my eye firmly fixed on DDM, Dimitri de Matos, to see if he comes in to make a pit stop. He's only 8 seconds behind Euler, who's already stopped. Sarah Miller is a further 14 seconds behind the leader there, so I'm going to keep watching Dimitri de Matos, Michael, as he exits the second Lesmo.
10th place, Mark Johnston in the pits. Yeah, as you say, Brian, it'll be good to keep an eye on this. And Johnston's away, 7.5 second stop. Oh, Mark Johnston cut the pit exit line there. And that's a bit naughty of him, even though there's no cars coming, but he's the principal of it.
Will the game give him a stop go? Is that a Stewart's thing, Michael?
It's something that's reviewed after the race.
Okay, cool. Okay, folks, the race is starting to peter out. Well, not peter out a bit, but because of the pit stops and everything, and there's gaps in between. Just give you a rundown quickly. Euler, in charge of... Oh, and we're hearing that P12 is in trouble. Michael, could you expand on that, please? What's happened with P12? Oh, yes, he is in trouble, Michael. It's coming to Ascari. Something's definitely wrong with him. Hope he's on the engine overheating or brake failure. As
he's lost the front wing and he's in the wall. And he wants to climb at the wall first somewhere. The car has got no front wing. And that's one funky looking car livery, I have to say. You certainly won't.
Yes,
you certainly won't. You won't miss that on camera. And but yes, it's very unfortunate for Costas Cantazores, as he was doing quite well considering. And Columbus in the pits again.
What is going on?
Is that for is that a drive-through or under?
For speeding?
Or no, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Wow. No idea. As third place man blasts past him into turn 1 there. So Columbus...
Oh! No, we're just seeing a replay. That's why Columbus is in the pits. Costa Torres. He got on the grass, letting Columbus through around the Herma Grande, and completely lost grip and outbraked himself and ran right up the rear of Mindegas Columbus. So that would explain why Cantazores has got no front wing and Columbus is nursing rear end damage. And here we go again, wallop! Up the backside at the second chicane.
Talk about going from bad to worse. Sorry, Mindegas Columbus there, mate. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Okay, rundown for the folks watching. Euler by 10 seconds, 10.2. Dematus, who hasn't made a pit stop yet, is second place. I think he's coming in now, Michael. Michael, DDM in the pits.
Yeah, he is indeed. We've got him. And he comes. Fuel's going in, tyres being changed. 6 seconds. So this must be a short fill. It's gonna put him. It's gonna leapfrog him back up to the field. And who's that? It's
Tamala.
Oh. Oh, let's put Demasos back in the play slightly.
Yes, and Clayton Nelms and Jack Keithley battling for 6th place as they come into approaching second chicane. Michael, oh, look at that out there! Late braking. Into the first Lesmo, approaching the second Lesmo. In 3rd gear, just Clayton Nelms takes it, and hard on the gas. 5th gear, 6th gear, as they approach the Ascari chicane. 7th gear, 210 mph, 12, 15 mph, and it brakes late. And those disc brakes are glowing over 1,000 centigrade or Fahrenheit, Michael. As exit the Ascari chicane, coming to the Parabolica. And who is that just ahead of them? Robert Fakes, who I'm sure he will move over them. As Clayton Nelms now exits hard on the gas. But look, Jack Keithley has pulled out a nice chunk there, about a second there, Michael.
He has indeed. Into the chicane, really walloping those curbs.
Wow, and Ben Phillips looks like he's a man on a mission here. He's very, very late on his brakes into turn 1, Michael. He always scares me. Like he's like almost those great white sharks that come out of nowhere and nearly bite you when I'm watching on board behind. I'm watching the race from behind, top of the cars, and just seeing his cars and front wing appear from nowhere makes me jump sometimes. He's very late on the brakes. Is Ben Phillips.
Yep, hopefully he isn't as scary in real life anyway. And yeah.
And Michael, the closest battle on track. Closest battle on track is DDM and Tamala as they coming to exiting the Ascari chicane. The Matters hard on the gas. 5th gear, 6th gear. Over 200 mph now. Closing, must be getting a tow now. 217, 218 miles an hour there, Michael, as they exit the Parabolica. DDM on the fresher rubber, using the traction of that. Closing on Tamala. He must be getting to his toe any second now. Yes, now he's in his toe, Michael.
Yes.
Will he dart out?
Whoa!
Oh, there we go. Wow!
The late breakers. Oh! And Tamala's trying to get the cut back, but he mounted too much curb. And well, I won't say it's done and dusted yet. Tamala is in the toe, but he's on the older tyres. He pulls out though, and he thinks better of it.
And Demetrius doesn't need someone battling when the title is at stake could be at stake in this race. He wants to come away with at least 21 points. Is DDM, Michael. Definitely, he would not be relishing having a battle with somebody who hasn't got any chance of winning the title, will he?
No, so he's a bit of a damn situation. Damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Obviously, he's got to play it cleanly. But you can only play it cleanly if the other one plays the ball as well. So far so good for Dimatos. We're on board with Tamala at the moment. And the fastest times, fastest laps standings. You can see there. And I thought I heard a noise somewhere. Has someone gone off the track, or is this me hearing things again? I don't think everyone seems alright.
Michael, Clayton Nelms hasn't actually made a pit stop yet. I'm watching the live timing screen, and he's the only one not to make a pit stop yet. So, doing a 23.860. So, good on you, Mr. Clayton Nelms, not making a pit stop yet. Oh, now he pits,
He's
Michael. Clayton in the pits now, Mike.
That must be a one stop, 11.5 seconds. What do you think, Dennis?
Yep, clear one stop was short before half distance, so he'll go to the end, that's pretty sure.
Yep, and hopefully Clayton can get the car to the end this time. He's shown a lot of promise with lap times and performance, but obviously due to one thing or another, he's failed to get the car to the end, or something has thrown him off the track. And apart from a small mistake earlier at the exit of the Ascari, which cost him like 1 or 2 places, it's been going well for Clayton. Whoop! He runs wide of the chicane.
Just cut the chicane there. Yeah, talking about Clayton, Michael, he was pretty quick in Q1. Q2, I think he just didn't have I think it was a mental thing, but he just finished out of the top. He couldn't make the top 10 in Q1, but in the practice he was blisteringly fast, and he wasn't very happy with that.
Dimatos closing in on Carson into this last chicane. He pulls out the slipstream. Oh, late braking. They rub wheels and more. Getting very close and touchy of each other. Carl Swift shakes the car on the exit with too much power. Now through Curva Grande, coming up to the chicane underneath the bridge. Neither think of any stupid moves. Left, then the right. The power, 3rd gear, 4th gear. Into Lesmo, 1. On the exit, mind not to run up too much curb, Lesmo 2. Looking back from Carson's car. Clearly the Medicine's doing quite well, he's holding up quite well so far for him. Coming into Ascari, Carson seems to break later actually. Now on the exit, Tamala not too far behind actually. But Dimatos is hounding Smith all the way to the parabolica. Fast flowing right-hander. Mind the exit where the gravel does suck you in. Here we go again, across the start finish line. De Matos is closing, he pulls out. Carson tries to squeeze him, but he has no answer. And whoa, look at that! Carson tries up the inside again, and no, that didn't work. Oh, they're back wheels! They Tamala! And Tamala has taken 2 places in a twinkle of an eyelid. De Matos, what's he thinking? What's that?
But Michael, good question. How did Dimitri Matos even catch up with Dave Carl Smith? Did he make a mistake the lap before this?
No, they've just been hounding them quietly all the way for the last couple of laps. Nobody's made any mistakes, I don't think. So De Matos is back down to where he was a few laps ago. And Carson has lost the place, but he wants that place back. Underneath the bridge, coming towards Ascari. If anything, Shimano seems to have picked up the pace again.
Indeed, Michael, and I remember I fought in the last race at Valencia that was really messing up Carl Smith. It always seems every race there's a guy that pulls up a blistering lap times and pace on the race pace and really causes Carl Smith and Matter some headaches, while Euler is really enjoying this. His the two main rivals for the title are having to have a skirmish with Tomala, who really hasn't got a hope of oh, look at that, Michael!
Oh, he's still at the moment! No, Carl Smith and De Matos has got him! And there's going to be a drag race to the chicane between Carl Smith and De Matos. This is amazing! Here we go, we're all board of Carl Smith. Meanwhile, all that's been going on, Euler's made a second pit stop. But never mind that, De Matos got the inside of the chicane. Carl Smith around the outside. They back wheels again, over the curb. And Carl Smith finally has to concede.
Tomatoes on the grass!
He squeezes him.
My goodness me!
He squeezes him. Michael Tyson will be tearing his hair out.
Jack Keithley's now there. Jack Keithley's in the mix, Michael.
Yep, DHR and TMO. A nice cocktail there. But I don't want to try it. I'd rather talk about it. And into the Ascari. I think it's all going to stabilise now, I think. By the looks of it. I'm sure I'll be proved wrong yet again in a moment.
Ben Phillips is now with them again, Michael. Wow. And I said to you earlier on, Michael, don't write off DDM. This guy really is showing me his hunger and passion for this title. He was down in 8th place at one time, pushed onto the gravel, pushed onto the grass, and look, he's coming back strong. Only 22 seconds behind Euler at the moment, but he's ahead of his main rival, Dave Carl Smith. And really, De Matos really needs to get past Cyril Wermuller to minimize any points difference between himself and Euler. Michael, back to you.
Yeah, we're having a replay of Dave Carl Smith now. You just saw Samala spin in front of us now. The drag race between him and De Matos. Going through Curva Grande, coming towards the chicane. There's De Matos, they bang wheels and more, and Carl Smith leaps over the curb. And no traction when the car's in the air, of course, and there he is squeezing his satellite teammate Tamala onto the Italian grass.
Back live, Michael, back live. They're still at it, these two guys. Tamala right behind Dave Carl Smith, trying to outside Dave Carl Smith by jinking left and jinking right to distract him. But Carl Smith's having none of it. We know Carl Smith is that British bulldog fighting spirit. He doesn't let you pass anywhere you like. But in the background is Jack Keithley, and also there is Ben Phillips. It's going to be a four-way battle, Michael, for 4th place as Ben Phillips goes wide into the parabolica. Back onto the gas, but Keithley has got a gap on him. And Tamala, where is he? Getting a toe now. Tamala getting a toe. Go on, Mike.
He's in the toe, he pulls out. They're going to be side by side into the chicane. And Carl Smith has let him through. No, he hasn't. Tamala has outbraced himself again. And back to where they were, but now Keithley is going to be sniffing that rear of Tamala. All the way down Curva Grande into the chicane. He ain't going to get by though. Oh, they almost touch. Savalo seems to be braking earlier, so I don't know if he's having brake trouble or he's just recomposing himself. Well, there's quieting down ever so slightly. Let's ask Dennis on his thoughts of this rather crazy battle that's been going on over the last couple of laps.
Yeah, fantastic battle as Tamala goes off and Keithley is once again right behind. Meanwhile at the front, Lucas Euler set a new fastest time, 21.7. That should be a 3-stopper. He has been in the pits for the second time 2 laps ago, so he will have to come in once more as Tamala outbrakes himself once again, Mike.
He does indeed, and it's the desperation to try and keep ahead of Keithley. He outbraked himself with the parabolica, and Keithley slipped through on the inside with a better line. And Savala's got the better slipstream and straight line speed into turn 1, but is Savala going to outbrake himself again? No, he doesn't. In fact, Keithley does it, and he straddles the curb, and he just about gets back onto the track, just in front of Savala, and another drag race for Curva Grande, and up towards the Rochester chicane. Savala's in the toe, he pulls back in for the toe, more toe, he pulls out, and Keithley is through for the moment. And while that was happening, Ben Phillips has been into the pits for, I can only assume it's his second pit stop.
Carl Smith wins! Michael, Carl Smith spun! Oh no!
Yeah, Carl Smith has spun, and he's lost his front wing. And he's going to be lacking the front downforce, but I don't think there's too much damage to his suspension actually.
Do you think he's getting tired from his illness, Michael? Because I don't know, he came out to second les mode there. Oh, he's running wide, no downforce. He better come into the pits now and get a nose. Oh dear.
Nice job of change. I mean, and Tamala again. Tamala side by side with Keithley. Into the chicane, and wow, they got wheels! Wow! And yet again, while Carson was in the pits, he's just underneath our commentary box here at Monza. And we're on board with Savala. And is he going to have a go up the inside here? No! Is Keithley going to keep himself on the line? He does. Oh,
Damien Humain, Michael, spun into turn 1 there, into this turn 1 chicane there. Damien Humain drops down to 8th place.
Yeah, and Carson's now down to 9th after his stop. He's back on track though. Well, it looks like it's all going off at the moment here.
At the moment, Michael, the fly in the ointment for Dimitri de Matos is Cyril Wellmuller. He's 9 seconds behind Euler.
It is indeed, and we've got a replay of Carl Swift. We're on board with him. You just saw Ashley. Yeah, so it's going around the second Lesmo. Bit too fast. And the car just swapped ends and bang! Into the wall. He was lucky the speed was quite low actually. If any more than that, I think he would have had more substantial damage.
Yeah, Michael, in practice, and I was watching the guys, and they tended to always spin out, come out of the second Lesmo. As you know, it's got the highest centrifugal force coming out of there, 3.8. So there's a lot of downforce there. The guys going through. So if they get the tire wrong there, the left rear tire goes there, a bit like what Hamilton did. They can actually spin it out of there.
Yeah, so we're getting a replay.
Damien Humain in the pits, Michael.
Yeah, we're getting a replay of that. His spin. Not quite sure why he's in the pits. Or it could be a routine stop actually, but yep. Dane Humain carrying too much speed into the chicane, and around she went. A harmless spin for Dane Humain, apart from some pride.
Okay, Michael, just going to give people the rundown now. Lucas Euler leading the race on lap 34. We've got 19 to go. Cyril Wellmuller, the fly in the ointment for Dimitri de Matos. in second place. Demetrius, I just mentioned, in third place. 34 seconds behind our race leader. Jack Keithley, wow, good position for Jack Keithley, Mike, in fourth place. In fifth place is Tomala, who's just exiting the pits or coming to the pits. Sixth place is Ben Phillips. He probably will get a jump on Tomala here. In seventh place, after his spin and crash, there was DCS. In eighth place is Sammy Sikowski. In ninth place is Clayton Nems. And then we've got Damien Dinin a lap down. In 11th place is Mark Johnson a lap down. Mindukas Columbus, who was leading the race until he's had his unfortunate stop and go penalty, and also the collision with Costas, Kanatsoras, Robert Fakes, Michael, your man. Oh, and Robert Fakes spins into turn one there, Michael, and Costas overtakes him. And then that's the last of the runners. Danny Lober's brake failure, the accident with Alain Fort was Emmy Ussal, Alain Fort and Jan Larsen, and our first retirement, of course, was Danny Roberts into turn one there. Michael, back to you, dude.
Thank you very much, Brian. And yeah, it was spin by Robert Fakes there. His car is nursing some damage, and he's also getting used to the G25 as well, which I have to say, the pedals is the biggest difference amongst anything else. And a harmless spin for him there.
Michael, something maybe you want to mention to Roberts and Fakes later on is, I've got a G25 for a while now. I use a couple of things to make the braking a bit better for me. Is the Nimzik mod. It's a rubber block you put into the brake pedal, and it makes the threshold a bit more better. You can actually feel it. I've also got USB thing which increases the resolution of the braking. For the G25, it's by a guy found on iRacing. He sells this thing for about 12 or 15 pounds, and it's pretty good. The resolution is right increased. You get a much more smoother braking. Something you should mention to Mr. Fakes later on.
Well, thanks, Brian. I'm sure I'll be looking at it myself. Actually, it sounds very interesting.
Okay, later on I'll give you the links. A guy called Leo Boda is a very, very good thing. Nearly everyone in iRacing has got that those two mods for the G25. But I'll talk to you later about it.
Indeed, thank you, Brian. And Jack Keithley is in the pits in fourth place. Jacks are up. Fuel's going in. This should be his final stop. Just a whisker under 6.5 seconds, and he should rejoin. It's going to be tight. Ben Phillips is going to nab him. Although I do believe Ben Phillips has to pit again. So Lucas Euler's lap to everybody up to 10th place. And his next target will be Clayton Nelms, who is actually not far from him. So we're on board with Lucas Euler. So Brian, do you want to take us around the lap of this Monza circuit?
Okay, Michael. So just as they coming up to the first Lesmo, taking third gear is Euler. Fourth gear now coming to second Lesmo. Fifth gear dropping down 2 gears into third gear. And it comes up to Clayton Nems, and Clayton Nems moves over for Lucas Euler as he goes to 6th gear, nearly 200 miles an hour. 7th gear, 210 miles an hour as it brakes hard. It climbs a curve there into the Ascari chicane and comes out the Ascari chicane in 5th gear, 170 miles an hour. These are fantastic speeds, Michael. In 7th gear, approaching the Parabolica, 212, 14, 15 miles an hour as it comes back down. 4 gears to 3rd, back up to 4th now as it exits the Parabolica. 6th gear now, Michael. It crosses the start-finish line in 200 miles an hour starting the start-finish line, Mike. 7th gear now. Let's see his total top speed: 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 miles an hour as he brakes hard again into the first chicane, Michael. And now he'd go back onto the gas and takes that 1st gear, 3rd gear now, 4th gear, 5th gear as he comes towards the bridge. This is where Alafort spun, hitting the 8 shifter. 7th gear, 200 and 10 miles an hour. He brakes again into the first chicane, Michael, into the second chicane, sorry, and now back, taking a 2nd gear, and that was a lap as it enters the first Lesmo again, Michael, of Monza. Before you can even say it's all over, that is some quick lap times. Is Mr. 1 minute 21.7 is his fastest lap of the race there. He's really quick, isn't he, Michael?
Certainly is, and consistent as well, which is key in any World Championship series.
And
none
Michael,
more important than FSR.
Sorry to jump you, but De Matos is in 2nd place as Wermuller pitted. Let's see. Let me just check quickly on the live in times. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you, Dennis. Wermuller has just pitted because this is going to play towards things. But let's watch Dimitri De Matos, Michael. I'll keep an eye on him while you bring something interesting up again, Michael. Sorry, just one of the words there.
Yeah, well, things are settling down now, so obviously some facts. Obviously the Delachais Grand Prix team is a satellite team, or I say satellite, but it's part of the team of the back marker brigade as well, so well, that's the reason behind it. Obviously Simon Smith, back marker brigade team boss, paying tribute to one of the best A drivers, if I can say that, for in the past, as a tribute to him. And as I say that, De Matos is in the pits. So this should be very interesting indeed as the stopwatches are going. And away he goes, 6.5 seconds. This should be very interesting. And Wordbull has gone through. Wordbull has gone through. And Ben Phillips is nowhere to be seen. He's in 4th place with Jack Keithley breathing down his back. Yep, so this race looks like it's done and dusted for Lucas Euler. He's got one more stop to make. It'll be a short one, and he's got a 34.5 second gap according to the live timing screens, barring any mechanical failures for Lucas Euler. So if we can think far back to Melbourne, Brian, Lucas Euler had an engine failure on the last lap when he was looking set to win the race. So, well, hoping that won't happen to him again, but obviously there's always that possibility.
Yeah, but Euler has been metronomic in his wins since then, Michael. 4 wins. This probably will be his fifth win. I don't want to jinx the guy, although I don't believe in jinxing people. But yes, he's taking that on board. And he's done very well now. Since then, Michael, as you know, he's won 4 races, so he's a different man, more mature now in his racing, and looking very good for him. And I just want to thank Dennis for giving us this live time. It's absolutely brilliant compared to the other one I used to use at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and Jack Keithley and Ben Phillips really getting it together for the third chicane. But Phillips has pulled away slightly on the exit. But it looks like it's a matter of when, and not if, Jack Keithley gets by Ben Phillips as they exit the second chicane into Lesmo 1. 3rd gear, car is wanting to push wide into Lesmo 2. And if anything, Ben Phillips has got better traction and grip through the Lesmos. So we're gonna
Yeah, this is the only battle right now, Michael, that's worth mentioning at the moment, so let's stay with this, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we're going to have a replay of Jack Keithley attempting to overtake him.
Clayton Nems has just spun, Michael! He's just spun! He's got brake failure! I wonder, he's just parking the car facing the tyre barrier, Michael! Clayton Nems, what's happened to him?
We're on board with him now. The car doesn't look right. And he's got a red light on the steering wheel actually. That means he's got a mechanical... Whoa! Ouch! That was unusual. And the engine's gone.
Brakes, Michael, it says here brakes.
Yeah, so it looked like it. He touched the brakes and around she went.
Well, that's interesting, Michael, if they've increased the brake pad pressure. And I must say, okay, there's some heavy braking here.
Press the buttons, you brother. We've got to have a replay of it now. Wow! It snapped. It's letting Lucas Euler through, our race leader, and the car just spun out of its control, very nearly taking out our race leader, Lucas Euler. So he was lucky. We'll have a look at that again. We're on board with Lucas now. So he's in the tow. And, well, he's trying to get through. Oh, they're coming out of the pits. I think they're coming out of the pits together, actually. By mistake. And, yes. And, Lucas actually had to cut the pit exit line to avoid him, actually. So it shall be very interesting to see if Lucas Euler gets a pit penalty for that, even though it was in avoidance action.
Michael, I'd like to bring in Dennis again, because I thought the increasing of the brake disc was going to prevent this from happening. Dennis did say in the AMA there was one guy or two guys having brake failures, and they're only running like 50% race distance. This is a 100% race distance, so I'm curious, did they think that increasing the disc pad was going to help prevent disc brake failures in the race? If so, does this mean it hasn't worked what they thought? Is that okay to bring Dennis back in, Michael?
Hey, go for it, yeah.
Yeah, it should have helped. But look at that, Phillips, but Phillips and Keithley still going at it. Keithley had the position already, but Phillips is again back through in 4th place. And he's still hanging on in that slipstream. So I have to wait until turn 1, Mike.
Yeah, Keithley's closing. He's closing. We're looking from trackside cameras. And wow! Up the inside, and he's taken too late. And he's taken to the escape road. He's going to let Phillips back through. Oh, he should do anyway. Yeah, there we go.
Now, Michael, would that give him a penalty? Would that be a penalty, like what happened to Columbus?
We'll have to wait and see. I think he was going slow enough to avoid it, but we shall see.
Okay, I got you, Michael.
Yeah. So about the brakes, if the drivers use maximum disc size, they should be safe. Of course, they have to also be careful with the ducts, the brake ducts. So brake cooling is also important, but Clayton Elms obviously was way too optimistic. His brakes failed like 12 laps from the end, so he should have been more careful there, but hopefully for all the other drivers it should be okay.
Okay,
so
but Danny Lubbers had his brake failure on lap 16. Anyway, Michael, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Michael.
So guys, Dennis, do you think it seems like a lot of drivers are chancing it and gambling that this circuit has long straights, which in turn cools the brakes down? Do you think the drivers are chancing it too much with running like low brake ducts?
Yeah, you're always gambling just a little bit because you want to have maximum top speed, and you can only achieve that with minimum cooling. So everybody is running on the limit as always. But on a track like that, if you're slipstreaming very much, it can be dangerous towards the end of the race. But as I said, 12 laps from the end is a bit too much. So Clayton Elms should have put more cooling on his car before this race. Anyway, Lucas Euler has made his third and last pit stop meanwhile, and the gap to Wertmüller is 15.5 seconds, so looks like an easy victory for Lucas Euler once again.
Indeed, and Robert Fakes in 13th place has made his last stop of today. So another disappointing race for Robert Fakes, not helped by the incident with Alain Fort. And no doubt he'll be shedding tears of Allah tonight. But anyway, back to the battle with Ben Phillips and Jack Keithley. Ben Phillips in front again as always, but Keithley is having a look up the inside. He thinks better of it. Into the chicane. Ow. It's Mark Johnston up ahead. Teammate to Jack Keithley. I hope there won't be no team tactics involved here today. Here at Monza. But coming towards the chicane, Ben Phillips does have better top speed and grip, it seems, on certain areas.
I must say, Ben Phillips has really been an improving driver over the years, Michael. I used to race with him in AMA, and we used to have a little bit of a ding-dong, but I can't match his speed right now. He's just taking on the alien status. He must have been abducted at some time to be able to go this quick now. He's really, over the years, he's really got quicker and quicker all the time.
He certainly has indeed. He certainly has come a long way since Malaysia.
Sorry, Michael, there's a little battle brewing down for 6th place. Not really there yet, but Tamala has got Mr. Dave Carl-Smith's shadow looming ever closer on him as they both exit the parabolica, as Dave Carl-Smith puts the pedal hard down, going over the start-finish straight. So that's another battle probably we want to watch. Back to Keithley and Phillips again. Keithley made the little mistake there, but Ben Phillips goes to the gas there as they go into the corner. Back to you, Michael.
Yeah, a controlled slide, I think, from Keithley there is the word to call it. Now into the chicane. And there's still, as it was, you've got 6 laps to go here. Well, for the leader anyway, not these guys. They've got 6 3/4, but they're not going to give up until the end. So it'll be fascinating to watch these two. And looks the top 3 are pretty much on their own now, so it's this battle here is to be decided, as everyone else is actually on their own.
Well, Michael, if things stay as they are now, like I said, the fly in the ointment for Dimitri de Matos is Cyril Women. Oh! Ben Phillips in the pits!
Well, yes, they're coming for a splash and dash then, it seems, with Ben Phillips.
Goodness me! Wow! Is that... Oh my gosh, is that stop... drive-through? No, it isn't. Oh yes. Wow! That's a bit of a miscalculation. Look, he's now dropped 3 places now. Is that miscalculations, you think, Michael, by him? Because so late in the race going for a splash and dash.
Well, I always kind of thought Ben Phillips had to pit again, but obviously... Sikowski! Sikowski, 8th place, a spun. You see him staggering back on track, but I always thought Ben Phillips had to pit again in the back of my mind, but obviously taking my eye off him as other things were going on. I assumed he made a stop in that time somewhere, but clearly he hasn't.
Oh well, but 6 laps to go is a bit of a miscalculation in my books. And again, what do I know? He's a lot quicker than me. So I've just been praising him now, and then I'm questioning him. So sorry, Ben, but you know, it's a bit odd to stop 6 laps to go, really. Maybe you can correct me, maybe you know something I don't know. But anyway, Michael, going back to De Matos, Cyril Wemmuller, the fly in the ointment, really messes him up, because I had calculated if De Matos had finished second place for the last 5 races and Euler won every single race, that De Matos would have taken the title by 2 or 3 points. This is now complicating the matter for De Matos with Cyril Wemmuller taking second place. So I'll probably do my calculations again later on.
Robert Fakes has gone off the track. He's hit the wall and he's out of the race. Robert Fakes in 13th place is... Oh dear.
Sorry, Michael, your team, as you're the manager of that team, sorry, dude, about that. Oh boy, what can I say, mate? Commiserations.
Yeah, I wonder what happened, that's the thing. Very strange incident.
What's wrong with Keithley? Jack Keithley! He's having a problem! He seemed to slow his going to a scary chicane there, Michael. Maybe it's just my ears playing.
No, he's got brake failure! He's got brake failure! I think he's got no brakes! Or he's got or he's lacking brakes! Let's have a replay of Robert Fakes here. And a very strange one indeed.
Yeah, Michael, he clipped the inside curb on Lesmo 2, which put him totally off and into the wall, and that was the end of the race for Robert Fakes, unfortunately.
Yeah, very unfortunate indeed. We're looking at Jack Keithley now, who he's got no brakes, as we can see now, and obviously Dennis again, another late casualty with no brakes here. Jack Keithley.
Yeah, we're looking at him now. We've got 3 more laps to go. That makes more sense there. You can have brake failures. You shouldn't have them, of course, but makes more sense compared to 12 laps from the end. So yeah, very unfortunate for Jack Keithley. The cooling was just not enough. Possibly with one more duct setting he would have survived, but he was just a bit too risky there.
Tomorrow and Dev Carsmith! Tomorrow and Dev Carsmith coming to the Parabolica! Oh! This is a close one, Michael!
Yo! It is indeed. And Carl Smith really wriggling the rear of his car, trying to get the power down the pit straight, with Tamara in front of us.
And up ahead is Keithley, up ahead is Keithley with no brakes, wow!
Yeah, look at this, Carl Smith pulls out, and Tamara doesn't give in easily, and Tamara outbrakes himself. No, he doesn't, he gets it together just, and Carl Smith is still behind Tamara as he was a lap ago. Through Curva Grande, and here we go into this chicane. He's almost trying to ram his teammate out of the way. And Tamala runs wide at Lesmo 1. Carlstone's going to have a sniff up the inside of Lesmo 2, he doesn't know, he thinks better of it. And on the exit, down the run towards Ascari is Dane Humane in front of us actually, not Keithley, so Keithley is alright for the moment. Into Ascari. And Tamala has run wide. And Carl Smith's got it. Carl Smith is up to 5th now. So it's Dane Humane between himself and that 4th place with Jack Keithley.
Well,
that'll be exciting to watch.
Keithley's doing quite well. He's kept these guys behind him for a while, and I think Euler, Michael, is about to come onto his penultimate lap. He's about to go for his final lap as he comes into the
Mike. And Savala again, he's trying to outbrake his teammate Dave Carl Smith. Argy Bargy once again at the third chicane.
Michael,
Tamala
Euler
to
is
the
final
toe.
lap. Final lap for Tamala, for Euler.
We'll cut to that in a moment, Brian, as Carson and Tamala battling as it hammer and tongs again into the chicane. Carson still retains that place. As we now cut to our race leader, Lucas Euler, on his final tour of the Monza circuit here today. And now Carson has pulled away slightly from Tamala. And he should be safe to go and catch Jack Keithley. So it's going to be touch and go to see what can be done. As we cut back to Lucas Euler, who's making his way around the Ascari chicane now.
Tamala in the toe!
Back straight. Meanwhile, we're on board with Lucas Euler on his final tour, but I can tell you...
Oh! No!
Tamala!
Crash! Tamala and
There's a crash!
Smith!
There's a crash, but we've got to cut back to our race leader, Lucas Euler! And he crosses the finish line to take his 5th victory of 2 hours to 9 in World Series Pro. So well done to Lucas Euler. And he spins in delight, but Woodwiller is second. And now we're back at Dave Carson. He's going to try and chase down Jack Keithley. You can see him, the distance. But we do look at Woodwiller now. He's going to take that second place. Well done, Cyril Woodwiller, for taking second. Now Dimitri De Ratos. He takes third. And now the battle for 4th place. Jack Keithley, we're looking back for him. He's got lack of brakes, remember. Oh, it's going to be close, but too little, too late, I think. Because Keithley's car can accelerate. And Carson is not going to do it. He takes that. Keithley. Wow. Keithley just holds on to 4th place. Whoa! Whoa! Oh my goodness me! Keithley rolls it in the background.
And Phillips finishes 7th place. Wow, 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 wow. That was fun.
Here's a replay of Tamala. I think he got a bit too optimistic, trying to overtake Carson. And he's outbraked himself, and a bit of contact, I think, with Carson as well, which sent him spinning around. No doubt the Kylie Minogue song spinning around will be in Michael Tamala's head tonight, given the amount of times he's listened today. Especially one as costly as that at the end. Well, full rundown, so Tamala finishes 6th. Ben Phillips takes 7th. Sammy Zakowski 8th. Columbus 9th. Rounding out the top 10 is Mark Johnston. 11th is Dane Humane. And finishing 12th. And the last finisher is Costas Cantazores. And our retirements for today: Robert Fakes, Clayton Nelms, Anthony Lubbers, Emir Sau, Ala Fort, Jan Larson, and Danny Roberts. That's our retirements for today. Well, that's the end of a very exciting race there, Brian. What are your thoughts?
Wow, definitely, Michael, definitely exciting. This is going to be a track that, you know, the guys are going to be very close together, especially on the straight and everything. Breaking points, not that many, you know, but setups and the rear downforce is good. But I knew it was going to be a humdinger of a race, and it didn't disappoint. Man of the driver of the race for me is Cyril Wermuller. Actually coming and doing the business here on top podium. De Matos coming in third place. At one time he was down in ninth. I remember us saying he was at the gravel, like a bulldozer on the grass as well, but he came good in the end. So he's really hungry for his title. But Sir Wemmuller really has messed up his point system here for him. So I'm going to ask Dennis for his his overall thoughts for the actual race, and thank him also for doing the cameras. Dennis, what are your thoughts, overall thoughts? So what jumps out at you, mate?
Yeah, I think it was a fantastic race. We've seen so many battles here, as we expect from Monza. I have to say the pro races are, I mean, I've commentated the last one in Valencia together with you, Brian. There it was also fantastic, but this time it was even better. Great racing going on. Lucas Euler winning in a dominant fashion with a three-stop strategy, one of the very few drivers doing a three-stop strategy, actually. Most people were on two stops. All the fighting going on with Dave Carr-Smith and Special, Tamala, everybody involved there, and let's hope we can get a few drivers for an interview shortly.
Michael, how about you, dude? What's your thoughts after the race finished, mate?
As always, in Monza, very exciting indeed, and obviously, special note goes out to Dave Carson for finishing the race, considering he's not feeling particularly well, and he's on medication. And obviously, dominant fashion from Lucas Euler, especially from start to finish, and a good the race of damage limitation for Dimitri de Matos today. And Cyril Woodward, as you say, is a great performance from him today, putting through and delivering the goods for TMO. And obviously, once again, disappointment for Ghost Speed. Both the cars finishing to fail with brake failures, despite showing good race pace and consistency. Yeah, so we'll hopefully get more drivers in there in a bit if we can. But Jack Keithley has made his way up here to the commentary box, and first of all, welcome, Jack. And obviously that was what we saw, a very exciting race for you, though.
Oh, thanks, Michael. Yeah, sorry, I'm not feeling too well. I've completely lost my voice, but I'm very happy with that finish, and hell of a tough race, hell of a tough.
Hey, Jack, well done. This is Brian here. I think that was fourth place for you. Did you seem to have lost your brakes towards the end there, 4 or 5 laps out? Was that correct? And were you aware that Carr-Smith was closing you down rapidly in the dying few laps there?
Oh yes, yes, Brian. I think my brake disc. I think I sort of flew off about 4 laps in the end. It had just gone.
Yeah, well, you certainly did a very good job in keeping the car on the road, Jack, whereas others did completely fell off. But did you lose that many brakes, or is it just only 1 or 2 of the brakes you lost?
Yeah, the front left went with about 5 to go, and then the front right with about 2 to go. So it was a little bit tricky, but yeah, I was trying to manage the gap. I know I went over the chicane. Obviously didn't intend to do that, but when they both go and you get no warning, that's just boom. There's nothing you can do. So I have to live with it. If I get a pen through it, fine. But I'm just happy with the 4th place.
Jack, what was your most exciting moment of the race and overtaking? Because you had quite a few battles with quite a lot of people throughout the race. Which was your most memorable one?
Yeah, obviously early on, I think I was going out with Dimitri for a couple of laps and banged wheels a couple of times. I think I was just a bit faster at that point. I think we were on different strategies, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, that was cool. And later on with Ben, that was pretty cool as well, because we're about even, and he made a little error, then I made a little error, and it sort of went backwards and forwards.
Yeah, but we found out that Ben was actually had to stop after you. He stopped for fuel, 6 laps for a quick splash and dash, as Michael said. So must have been miscalculation. So really, he was you were actually quicker than him, because he was a lighter fuel load.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh no, I've got 6, 7 more of this, and I saw him pull in. I thought, phew, I can relax. then the brakes go. I can't relax anymore. So just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, brilliant racing for you, Michael. More questions for Jack?
Well, obviously, that's at the end of one weekend for you, Jack, in FSR, but obviously, I believe you got GRC duties, haven't you, at Road Atlanta, and how is the preparations going for that?
Yeah, it's okay. I've only done a brief test, but, you know, the Astra will certainly be up there, sticking to the Lexus and the BMW, certainly you can bank on that.
Yeah, obviously, putting your weight above there, the Vauxhall Astra, and obviously... And as I said, we'll be tuning into that one tomorrow. And obviously, Neil Wood behind the cameras once again. And thanks for joining us today, Jack, and best luck for you for the next race, and also to the team tomorrow in the World Championship.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Yeah, I think we'll do well tomorrow. Got a decent car, and the guys will be looking for some good finishes.
Yep, so that's Jack Keithley there. He's a DHR GP driver, and Brian, looks like we haven't got any other drivers in there wanting to chat tonight. They're all clearly wanting to have their champagne and showers and hugs and kisses with their girlfriends.
Or seeing the nurse for some more medication in DCS's situation. Dennis, do you have any questions for Jack at all, mate?
No, not really. Just want to congratulate him for bringing the car home with only 2 brakes. I'm not sure how difficult that is, but I think it is very, very difficult, especially on Monza with so many big braking zones. And then if one brake only goes away, it's actually, I imagine, it's actually more difficult than when 2 brakes are off, because if you lose one brake, then I can imagine the car pulls to one side. Maybe you could just explain a little bit how those last 5 laps were for you, Jack.
Very hairy. I'll just try to dial in as much rear brake as I can, change the brake bias, and try to brake a hell of a lot, and prayed a lot as well. You know, but you always seem to get your car home okay, Dennis, so if you've got any tips on how not to lose your front brakes, I'm all ears, mate.
We'll chat later then. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, mate.
Well, there we go. So before I close off this broadcast, I'll ask Brian first for his closing thoughts on today's race.
Well, it narrows the gap difference between Dimitri de Matos and Euler. Dave Carr-Smith falling back a bit now there, so it's going to be a bit more difficult for him. He's got a higher, steeper mountain to climb, the gradient steeper. Euler closing in on De Matos, and let's hope we have a fight to the finish, dude. Because I remember last year Pomeranian won it with a few races to go, and it all pitted out there. Though we had a few exciting races towards the end there, because he actually left to go and race the higher class aces. So I'm hoping for a humdinger, Michael, all the way down to Abu Dhabi, race 17. So I'm hoping we go to the very end there. How about you, Michael?
Yeah, it shall be very exciting to the end. Obviously, with great tracks coming up like Singapore, Suzuka, and Brazil. It's all going to be very exciting indeed with some of the top drivers, or top hungry drivers in World Series Pro. So, Dennis, how about you? What are your closing thoughts on today and for the remaining of the season?
Yeah, about today, as I said, fantastic race. Now we move on to some very interesting tracks. Singapore, first one to come. It's going to be very interesting. Once again, a street circuit, many corners, and the barrier's not very close from them. So it's going to be really interesting. Hopefully we'll not see too many retirements. But today, I mean, it was fantastic, and the Pro Series is after the World Championship possibly the most entertaining series of FSR, or even the most, I don't know. But it's been great to watch and great to broadcast this event, and I can just encourage all the viewers to tune in 2 weeks' time when we race in Singapore.
Let's not forget to mention tomorrow's things, Michael. Like, you got the Ace and the Advance, and also the WC at later on in the evening, which our very own Dennis Herrell will be participating in. So all the best in that one, Dennis. But Michael, you want to just advertise the other races for tomorrow?
Well, you summed it up already, Brian. So we've got World Series Advance tomorrow morning, nice and early at 10 a.m. GMT, then 1300 hours, 1400 hours GMT, sorry, for World Series Ace, and then the big one, which everything kicks off at 6:30 British Summer Time, actually, for qualifying one and all the rest of it. And obviously on Monday, tomorrow, it'll be the Gentleman Racing Club. All the action kicks off live at 8:15 UK time for Division 1, where Jack Keithley will be racing along the likes of Dave Carl-Swift and others, such as Sean Stroud as well. And be sure to catch that. Neil Wood will be behind the cameras once again, and eagerly awaited new commentators will be trying out their luck for this year. But we hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast. It's been me, myself, Michael Lamb and Brian Aberday commentating, with Dennis Hell behind the cameras. And we hope you have a good night this evening. Goodbye.